The underbelly of tokenization, which Larry Fink and the elites prefer to keep hidden, is being brought to light by Whitney Webb. The new system, the unified ledger, is something we're interested in probing more. Is it Bitcoin? Is it Ripple? A combination of the two. Some details about that will also be covered. The real actions of the BIS, the IMF, and the World Economic Forum regarding Ripple and XRP. Let's jump right in and play this. I think the World Economic Forum is currently being handled by Larry Fink. In his role as acting chairman, he says terrible things. Yeah. Along with the idea that everything would be tokenized, he has also mentioned that eventually there will be a single universal database or ledger where everything has a unique identification. Accordingly, your unique identification number will likely be you. There is a clear correlation between that and your digital ID, but eventually, everything will have one. Real estate, gold, and other physical assets, as well as digital assets like Bitcoin, are all targets of the tokenization agenda, which aims to standardize ownership of all assets. Fink, and those like him, are part of a larger movement to tokenize and turn the environment into a financial asset. Mark Carney is currently the Prime Minister of Canada. This has persisted, and it was even attempted to some degree under the Biden administration, presumably via the Department of the Interior and natural asset firms. For instance, there exist organizations. For instance, Peter Kniaz, I assume that's the right pronunciation, was one of the original developers of the ETF idea. BlackRock now controls iShares. He's seeking to monetize the Amazon rainforest by turning it into a digital commodity, much like Bitcoin, with the scarcity concept that each hectare of rainforest would be equivalent to a token. Next, the blockchain would record a unique identity for every hectare, and other technologies, such as surveillance drones, would be utilized to keep an eye on the land. That includes the locations we think of as the most natural on the planet, the ones we like the most. These folks intend to enter the market, tinker with surveillance technologies, tokenize it, and then place it on a blockchain. When we begin to broach the subject, it becomes rather terrifying, doesn't it? Putting the rainforest on a token, and perhaps selling off pieces of it to individuals. Here, a strategy is in motion. Not everyone is a part of that plan, though. The only way out of this debt system, which is where we are now, is to discover how the elites will tokenize all this wealth and where it will end up. We aim to maintain that. And some assets, such as Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, will form the foundation of this whole tokenization monetary system, correct? We have a solid grasp of what they are saying at the moment, but we are unaware of their intentions. Following this, I will show you some of those clips and explain our reasoning behind them. They've been plotting for years, so you better start making plans now to match theirs. Take use of it to launch a massive new asset class. I'd say this is especially true for natural asset firms that are part of the intrinsic exchange group. Nature's opportunity, allowing them to perpetuate the same irresponsible actions that caused the financial crisis in 2008, for instance, with relation to the total quantity of assets that are presently in play. I had a guy who was really bonkers. An extremely high-ranking Citibank employee once told me, "Glenn, don't worry about the financial system." About 2008. Despite my concerns, he assured me that we will never run out of money. I mean, have you considered the monetary value of the nation's parks alone? Am I to believe that we ought to turn our nation's parks into a commodity? I asked him directly. It will happen, he assured me. Now I'm wondering if this is the digital commoditization of our parks that he was referring to, rather than the real sale of them. Yeah. The saying that went around during the COVID era was, "You'll own nothing and be happy." Let's put this into practice now. Some folks just can't help but want to own everything, and that encompasses a wide range of formerly unownable features, such as rivers, lakes, the ocean, natural forests, and the like, that are now part of the public commons. All of that, according to these folks, should be deposited into the monetary system, then tokenized, fractionalized, and sold off in chunks. Make guesses with it, It's really ridiculous, I tell you. The word insane is most appropriate in this context. In addition, Whitney Webb discussed BlackRock in an earlier clip from this year. Businesses are trying to take over their environment while claiming to be environmental protectors. To me, this is just incredibly intriguing. Get someone to play. In the instance of Larry Fink in particular, there is an aim, no, an enormous ambition to create new types of assets that may be utilized to support and sustain their current business model for millennia. The concept of natural assets, or the economy of nature, as a manager of assets, is one that I've written about for quite some time. Well, it's clear that BlackRock's goal is to seize control of as many non-financial natural assets as possible. This will allow them to continue their manipulative practices, exert even more control over the natural world, and ultimately transform everything living into a tradable monetary asset on Wall Street. This is not something that we ever broach. That is the reason for my great interest in it. Outside of the usual discourse surrounding equities, bonds, commodities, real estate, debt lending, etc., what do you currently believe the elites will tokenize? I wanted to debate this with you. For what other reasons do you think these individuals are seeking to tokenize rainforests, lakes, and rare earths, perhaps? So, what are your thoughts on the matter? Post a comment and tell me. To be honest, I can't wait to hear what you all have to say. Finished good. All of this, as Fink has said, is supposed to be on a universal record on blockchain so that it can be tracked and monitored. Aladdin, his artificial intelligence system for risk management, is possible since everything is automatable and can be monitored. I believe they could use it to their advantage by exerting control over it in ways that have never been done before. Of course, as we transition into this new system of financial governance, there is a lot of pressure to transform all of the infrastructure into this uh, green model or decarbonization. For them, the global carbon market is a means to an end. To gain access to a plethora of new assets, collateral, and other resources from which to issue new debt, as well as to exponentially increase the size of their current models and keep doing this forever. All right. In this case, I'll go ahead and display some extra data. This is consistent with what we've heard Larry Fink say. You know, I really hope the SEC quickly approves the tokenization of bonds and equities because I'm a big believer in crypto, blockchain, and tokenization. All right. But he's not just referring to equities and bonds here. Perhaps he is trying to hide the fact that he supports tokenizing bonds and stocks. We don't know what their real aims are. Thus, we don't know the rest of the plan either. They are basically telling us what we want to hear, aren't they? The future is tokenization, I see. Sure, commodities, equities, and bonds. And what else could it be? The blockchain will allow you to speed up the procedures of transactions. Thus, I genuinely think the fundamental technology is great. Identifying is made easier with the blockchain. Just so we're clear, I mean, there would be no need for custodians if the blockchain was completely transparent and everyone could see who was buying and selling. We are no longer in need of guards. I see. Additionally, this footage is available to you. In any case, I'd like to play this one. A few days ago, this was the most current clip we had. Real estate, stocks, bonds, and every other asset class is just going to be tokenized in the near future, in my opinion. All throughout the world, people are holding digital wallets containing $4.1 trillion. Most of that capital is located outside of the US. If exchange-traded funds, ETFs, could be tokenized and digitally transformed, we could attract investors who are only getting their feet wet in the market through, example, cryptocurrency, and guide them into more conventional long-term retirement products. Keep in mind that the younger generation's greater familiarity with crypto and blockchain technology poses the greatest challenge to these institutions' ability to attract and retain customers in more conventional marketplaces. Who invests and where will be greatly affected by the $80 trillion that will be passed down from the current generation to the younger generation over the next few decades. Furthermore, if individuals become accustomed to the blockchain, they will naturally want to invest in areas where they have the most faith. That is something Larry Fink is aware of. Because, well, where would they be without it? That's why major financial firms like BlackRock are diving headfirst into the cryptocurrency market. As a result, we anticipate that this will be BlackRock's primary area of focus for the next decade or so, as we shift our emphasis from traditional financial assets to digital ones, and holding individuals to that digital environment. Keep individuals engaged with the digital world. Now, let's examine it. Larry Fink talks about a new kind of global ledger. But what exactly is he referring to? Okay then, let's address it right away. While he does not specifically mention XRP or Ethereum in his broader vision of financial tokenization, he does mention new interconnected world ledgers and tokenized value systems at the World Economic Forum. In light of his comments and BlackRock's involvement in continuing institutional projects, it appears that XRP and Ethereum are suitable candidates for the new framework. So, according to Larry Fink's vision for the future of distributed ledger technology, the current head of the World Economic Forum, Fink has put an emphasis on replacing antiquated financial railroads like SWIFT with new, faster, more interoperable global settlement systems.